Hey y'all, what's up? JamiThatsMe here. Welcome back to the channel. I want to talk about Kenya Moore real quick. Kenya Moore did an interview recently. She talked about Real Housewives of Atlanta and whether or not she thinks Nene will be returning to the show. Okay. Now, number one, I do believe that Kenya Moore will be returning back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Of course, none of the ladies can really say at this time. I think some of the ladies haven't even been asked back at this time. But I can definitely see a Kenya Moore returning because I think Kenya is good TV. I think she definitely understands what is needed when filming, and especially for the show and stuff, reality show, just in all genres, because I not all genres, but just like different reality shows that Kenya does. She knows what to do for the camera, okay, to create drama, to bring the views, whatever the case is. But that's just my personal. So I feel like Kenya is likely not going to be fired, but we shall see. Okay. I could see Kandi Burruss returning because of her long stint with Real Housewives of Atlanta. And because she has a big fan base. So I could see her returning because of that. But we shall see how that's going to play out. But either way, Miss Kenya got a chance to sit down. She didn't really confirm or deny anything. And she also touched on Nene. So let's go ahead and check out what Miss Kenya had to say.
Okay. So I got to ask if you're coming back to that show. Everybody.
The Real Housewives of Atlanta, we have to know.
A lot of talk out there.
It's a lot of talk. Yes. They're getting closer to making an announcement on who's going to be staying and who's going to be going.
That's not what I asked you.
I can't. Well, I have to let them say.
All right, watch this.
Yeah,
Do you look forward to returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Do you know what? If it's in my future to return, I do look forward to it.
This woman has media training.
Yeah,
she really does.
Former Miss USA. What do you expect?
I love it.
It's the first thing that we get trained on. It's media training.
Kenya, I did hear rumors that they pretty much axed the entire cast for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. How true is that?
Oh, that's not true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some people are coming back. Some people are.
That might be a true statement.
So you are coming back. So we'll see Kenya on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Can we say that?
That might be a true statement.
Well, I'm
Ticker's rolling his eyes. He's like looking up in the air. He's throwing his hands up. He's like,
I
I'm
thought
done.
we was friends. You're supposed to keep it 100 with your boy.
Well, yeah, that's through text messages, but not like for the world.
Opens phone.
I also heard that Nene may be returning. Do you look forward to Nene returning if that would be a possibility for the Real Housewives of Atlanta?
That door is closed.
You think it's closed?
I mean, when you sue your employer, what do you expect to happen? It's like, listen.
That's the thing.
I mean, I don't understand why people think that's a possibility. I don't hate on the idea of it because I've been very vocal about the fact that I think she was great for the show. But in reality, how do you recover from suing your bosses? In the network. And saying all the things that she said. I mean, I just don't know how you didn't just burn a bridge, you blew it up.
Some people would like to see Nene back, but
me too. No, myself included.
Okay.
But I'll quote our boss in the words of Andy Cohen. She told me to keep her name out of my mouth, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So that's your answer.
Okay.
If you coming back, I better know before everybody else know. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
With a date with a man. With a love interest?
Oh, if I come back, will there be? Well, I hope so.
Okay.
They could also go on my Instagram. It's Date Kenya, one of my Instagram.
Really?
No, I'm not lying.
What?
Date Kenya.
What is that about?
IG. I made it up like a year ago, and I haven't really checked it, but it's Date Kenya.
It's popping, I'm sure.
Girl, I want to see what
Nobody knows about it. I never talked about it, so now they know.
Okay, so all the age appropriate.
It's private, so nobody else will see who else is on there.
Love it.
Watch out now.
Instagram, Date Kenya.
Okay. So I got to ask if you're coming back.
All right, so y'all just pretty much heard everything Miss Kenya Moore said. Now, Kenya, I just got to highlight a few things that you did say, okay? You said that they're going to be making announcements soon when it comes to the show. And I'm like, how do you know they're going to be making announcements soon? And in all honesty, they never really make announcements on who's returning. I don't think so. They just show us the intro as far as once you watch the show, that's when you learn who's actually going to be on the show. So I don't believe that announcements are coming soon. We haven't even heard a small spillage of people seeing them filming around town. So it's possible that they could be filming, but how do you know they're going to be making an announcement soon? Bravo never really makes announcements. So that's not happening. Okay. I think that things are still up in the air. They're still in limbo. And my assumption would be they could still be interviewing people and scouting for more people to be a part of the show. All right, but when a question was asked about all of the ladies returning to the show, she said that's not true. So I'm like, okay, if they're not filming, did some contracts already go out to those individuals that they do want to be on the show? And could Miss Kenya be one? Because when she brings up datekenya.com or go to Instagram, date Kenya, I did question like, are you going to try to make that a part of your storyline now that this divorce with Mark is finalized? Because I don't recall you ever mentioning that in any of your other interviews, and for you to have made it the page so long ago and you're bringing it up now, could that play a role? I mean, I would be open to watching Kenya date some new people, child. Bring some other folks on the show, some people that actually are really interested in wanting to date you, okay? Because you have definitely been tied down. Don't bring just one man on the show like, oh, this is my man. Like, girl, if you want to do a little bit of dating or something like that, girl, go out there and do your big one. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna see how all of that plays out. But for me, I definitely believe that Kenya will be returning back to the show. All right, but y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. Now we about to get into what y'all really want to sit up here and talk about, girl, and that's my girl, Miss Candiace Dillard Bassett. Okay, Miss Candiace Dillard Bassett has won in court against Mr. Michael Darby. Y'all know the husband to Ashley Darby, who Ashley Darby just cannot seem to leave at all. Yeah, that man. So for those of you guys that do not know, Michael Darby was actually up here trying to sue my girl, Miss Candiace, for roughly about, I think it was like $2 million. Okay, he was trying to sue her for $2 million. It was indeed a defamation lawsuit, right? So he wanted to sue her for 1 million. Okay, 1 million of those dollars were going to be for compensatory damages, and then the other 1 million was going to be for punitive damages, right? So that's why he was suing her. But in addition to that, he was also suing her to pay him interest on that. He was suing her for her to pay the attorney fees and any associated costs. Do you hear what I say? Do you hear what it is that I say? This man was trying to sue Miss Candiace for a whole lot. All right. And according to People Magazine, they're saying that this was first filed on February 15, 2023. Okay. Now, a dismissal with prejudice was issued in this case on January 3rd of 2024. All right. Now, the final order came in on January 31st. So now it is a donezo. It was dismissed with prejudice, meaning that, hey, we finna throw this shit out. This is BS. And no, you cannot re-enter this case back into this damn courtroom. Okay. They say Michael. They go on to say that the court determined for Michael that it was precluded from maintaining a lawsuit against Dillard based on a release that he signed to appear on the Bravo reality series. Okay, so Michael signed a release in his contract that probably told him, like, we get to use your likeness, your image, all of that, and you're going to be subject to maybe some scrutiny. You know, you throwing yourself in the lion's den in so many words, and this is just what it is. And when I hear this and I read this, I didn't get into the particulars of the situation with she and Monique, and I'm wondering if that's likely why that case was dismissed as well when it came down to Candiace, because when you're on this show, you kind of subject yourself to certain behavior, which results in, girl, this is a dismissal. Okay, y'all got all these antics, y'all was over there doing all these antics, doing all of this stuff, whatever. You put yourself in the lion's den and risk some things, which is why they had to throw it out, and it could have been that they truly agree with, Candiace, but at the same time, it was like, hey, listen, because of the grounds of the reality show, we have to throw it out. Not too sure, but this is just what I'm questioning and what I'm wondering. They could have also agreed with Michael and was like, yeah, she defamed the hell out you. She definitely said some things, but at the end of the day, you threw yourself in a lion's den, and by law, we got to throw this SHI out, period. Okay, now they go on to say that when a case is dismissed with prejudice, it becomes a final judgment and it may not be reasserted, meaning he cannot bring it back to court. So if you're going to sue her for something, try something else the next time, okay? So shout out to Miss Shout out to Miss Candiace for getting this win in court. You know, when it came down to the situation with Monique, I feel like Ashley heavily played a role in that. So it was real interesting that she came back this time, and y'all know Ashley is not to be trusted. Okay, Ashley came back this time and said that she knew absolutely nothing about what was going on with Michael's case, and we all know that was a lie. All right, her and Candiace stay getting into it, and I highly doubt that she was taking a step back and not entering herself in this case based on how things happened with she and Candiace because she decided to support Monique. Absolutely not. It's going to be family first over everything for Miss Ashley. I'm not saying that it shouldn't, but I definitely believe Ashley knew more than what she told us she knew. And if it came down to her testifying, she would have definitely testified against Miss Candiace. Okay, so I feel like this is also a win, not just against Mr. Michael Darby, but a win against Ashley Darby's ass as well. But that's just my personal, okay? They did go on to speak to Miss Candiace, and Candiace says, I am incredibly grateful to God for protecting me, okay? She says, I'm also grateful for common sense, the support of my family, and my incredible legal team for helping the plaintiff to get exactly what he deserves from me. Absolutely nothing. Girl, Candiace has me chuckling when she says that, okay? Allowing him to get exactly what it is he deserves from me, which is absolutely nothing. I am That's what you get. First of all, Michael, I do have a question, okay? When it comes down to like your attorneys and stuff like that, your attorneys really felt like Candiace was operating in a very poor way. Like they said that according to your attorneys, right? They said that Candiace demonstrated knowledge that her statements were salacious, imprudent, and or would be harmful to Mr. Darby's reputation. They go on to say they were intentional and born out of evident hatred and disdain for Mr. Darby. All right. They also said that the remarks prompted public scorn, hatred, humiliation, ridicule, contempt, and embarrassment to and for Michael. First of all, Michael, before I get to the question about your attorneys, number one is, Michael, you brought that on yourself when you entered yourself on this show. You cheated on your wife, and because you cheated on your wife, the mistress exposed you, or the side or the piece that you had that time exposed you. Therefore, it brought a lot of things out about you. There was recording and other people on the cast, and that they heard you talk about sucking a man's peen, and then you grabbing on people's butts and stuff like that. Like, you brought a lot of this out on yourself. Okay. Candiace should have sued you for harassment when she was down there in, I don't know if it was the Bahamas or Hawaii performing, and you tried to run up or walk up on her. Remember that? She should have sued you for some type of harassment at that particular time, but she didn't. She let your ass slide. And because you can't handle it, for whatever reason, you can't handle her mouth. You can't handle my mouth, motherfucker. Come on, Miss Erica. That's the only thing I'm gonna give Erica Mina. You can't handle my mouth, motherfucker. And the fact that you couldn't handle her mouth, you decided that you were going to go and sue this woman. And now guess what? You lost. Take this big ass L. But what I would like to know is, why would your attorneys sit up there? But of course, we all know why. It's the money, honey. Why would they sit up there and take your money, having you believe that you actually have a damn case? Actually believing that you have a case, knowing that you likely sent them the contract as they requested it so that they could review it. And they also saw that damn release in there. And maybe they told you, it's possible this case may get thrown out now, Michael, because, you did sign this release, and you could have said, hey, I want to press forward. Either that, or they just decided to take your money and be like, hey, I think you got a case. Yeah, go ahead and pay us $20,000 to retain us, or whatever the case is. You paid all that damn money, lost all that damn money too. Okay, so I don't know who was the fool, if it was you, if it was them, or if it was both of y'all. Not sure, but it definitely ended up being a waste of time. Okay, I was believing it was going to get thrown out because it just didn't make sense when you're on this television show and you talk about somebody that famed your character when you heavily contributed to that yourself. But then I also was like, well, you just never know how these courts go, right? I was hoping that it would get thrown out, and here we are. The case has indeed gotten thrown out. So Candiace brought in 2024, very, very happy. She brought it in very happy. So we'll see what's going to happen and how things are going to play out. I know she didn't want to talk about it on the show, so I'm wondering if she gets another season, if she is going to touch on the fact that, hey girl, I'm celebrating because that man tried to sue me, honey, and it did not prosper. Okay, so yeah, we shall see. We shall see how things are going to play out. But you guys go ahead and hop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about all of this. Miss Kenya Moore, the cast of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Candiace Dillard Bassett winning in court over Mr. Michael Darby, honey. Okay, girl, let me know your thoughts and comments down below. I am Jami, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jami, that's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like Soldier Ray. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more to survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but you run no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad